So I'm just going to get them out. Just different shape. Honorary sticks with this shape. And then the person can do the thing.
Distinguished guests, graduates and diplomats of the University of Chichester, I call upon Student Union Vice President Hermione Jane Boyce.
It's a huge honour to stand here today as the Vice President of the University of Chichester Students' Union at this incredibly significant moment in your lives. Today marks the culmination of years of dedication and hard work. You've met the deadlines, you've adapted to change, and you continued to show up, not only for yourselves, but for one another. You've balanced lectures with part-time jobs, coursework with society meetings, and study with memories that will last a lifetime. This moment is a celebration of perseverance, adaptability, and growth. It reflects the knowledge you've gained, the values you've shaped, and the resilience you've built along the way. In a world that is constantly evolving, your ability to learn, to question, and to rise to challenge is something you should be truly proud of. Graduation is not only the end of a chapter defined by learning, but the beginning of something new, a moment to step forward. As you sit here today, it might feel like standing on the edge of a cliff leading to the next adventure. Some of you will be ready to dive headfirst, some of you will want a little more time to think, and some of you think you need more time before you jump. As you move on to the next chapter, whatever that might be, I hope that you take with you the values and the confidence that you've gained here. You leave not only as graduates, but as critical thinkers, leaders, creators, researchers, collaborators, and advocates. Now's your time to fly, and I hope you make an impact wherever you go. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the families, friends, academic staff, and professional teams who've supported our graduates on their journey. No graduate reaches this moment alone. Behind every success story are the people who offered support along the way. To the loved ones, thank you for being a steady source of reassurance, celebration, and belief, even during the most challenging of moments. To the academic and professional staff, your passion and commitment to excellence have helped shape not only minds but futures. And to the student support teams, student union staff, and everybody who works behind the scenes, your care, commitment, and dedication have shaped this journey. I've firsthand seen the determination, creativity, and perseverance that runs through your cohort. Some of you I know, and some of you I've supported personally, and each of you has faced challenges, whether they've been academic or personal, whether they've been loud and visible or quiet and known only to you. You've showed up on hard days and you pushed through when the motivation was low, and that perseverance is something to be truly proud of. This ceremony isn't just about academic success, it's about how far you've come. You've earned this moment. Whether navigating the academic pressure, the personal setbacks, changing circumstances, or just the unpredictable world, we've shown an unwavering commitment to your goals. You adapted, you persevered, and you continued to move forward even when it wasn't easy. So I want you to take a moment to be proud not only of yourself, but of your peers and how much collectively you've achieved to be here today. Finally, on behalf of the entire Students' Union, I want to say how proud we are of every single one of you. Each of you has added something special to this community. Whether you were a hardcore wishy ranger or an academic weapon, every single one of you has shown up and shaped our student community into something vibrant, bold, and beautiful. Wherever you go from here, whether that's to work, to travel, or to change the world, or to take some time to work life out, know that you are more than ready. You're not the same person who arrived on their first day. You're stronger, more resilient, more confident, and you're always going to be a graduate of the University of Chichester. This is not the end of your journey, but the beginning of endless possibilities. Distinguished guests, graduates, and the diplomats of the University of Chichester, I call upon Professor Simeon Dagcast to give his opening remarks.
Thank you, Hermione. That was really beautiful. Good morning, everyone. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to this graduation ceremony in the beautiful setting of Chichester Cathedral. I would like to begin by acknowledging some very special guests whose presence makes today even more meaningful. We're honored to be joined by representatives of our Board of Governors and our Chair of Audit Committee, Yvonne Chester. A warm welcome also to our Honorary Graduate, Manjit Nagra, who today receives an Honorary Master of Law, recognizing her outstanding contribution to the legal profession. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this important occasion with us. Now, graduates, on behalf of the entire University of Chichester community, I would like to welcome you to this graduation ceremony. Today is all about you, recognizing your achievements and celebrating how far you have come. It's a delight to see this cathedral filled with those who have supported you throughout your time with us, your families, friends, and loved ones, who have been an integral part of your journey, and I'm delighted that they can be here today with us. Our mission at the University of Chichester has been not only to develop your academic skills and understanding, but to help you realize your full potential. Whatever your vocation, the contribution you wish to make, the career you're destined for, your education will have given you a passion for discovery and a very practical sense of how your learning can benefit others within our society. You have been part of an environment where everyone feels safe to experiment and to explore, an atmosphere that brings out the best in you and your peers. And it does not stop here. We hope that the qualification you have achieved is a source of enormous pride. You're actually graduating from a university that was placed 6th in the entire country for teaching quality in the National Student Survey in 2025. And that was your vote back there, and we are very grateful for that, and also very grateful to the staff that supported you throughout this journey, and it was a testimony of how collaboratively you work together. You're also graduating from the institution that has made the most significant climb in the Complete University Guide, and also from a university that was named the University of the Year for Teaching Excellence in the Daily Mail. And from the university that, as of Saturday just gone, is once again in the top 30 in the whole country in the Guardian University Guide and the University League Table of the Guardian, and top 8 in the country for teaching excellence. But perhaps more importantly, you're graduating from a university that's dedicated to cultivating talent and potential wherever it is found. Our Adversity to University program has recently attracted national attention as a significant financial donation for the way it opened doors for those individuals who have historically been excluded from higher education and from society. Our community's strength and vibrancy lies in its diversity. Your commitment, perseverance, and hard work has led to an academic qualification that sets you apart. Alongside the knowledge and skills you've developed, you have broadened your perspective and strengthened your character in so many different ways. It is this, along with the friendships that you have made, that will ensure you thrive as you embark on the next stage of your life. You will always belong to the unique community that is the University of Chichester. And as you go out into the world, please know that we will be cheering you on at every step of the way. Please also take a moment to recognize how far you have come and to congratulate yourself on everything that you have achieved so far. As Hermione said, although it may feel like an important chapter is closing, this is actually just the beginning, and I and we couldn't be more excited for you. Now to the formal part. Through the authority given to the University by the Privy Council and the power vested in me as the Vice-Chancellor by the Academic Board of the University, I now declare this ceremony open. Thank you. Now, I would like to invite the Chair of the Audit Committee, Yvonne Chester, to stand to confer the awards.
Governor, as Executive Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, I present to you the candidates who have been awarded the Bachelor of Arts in Accounting and Finance, Business and Human Resource Management, Business Management, Business Management and Event Management, Business Management and Finance, Business Management and Marketing, Event Management, Human Resource Management, Humanistic Counseling, Marketing, Marketing and Event Management, Sport Management. Harrison Brittles. Kira Turnbull. Tiger Artis. Fiona Ward. Joanne Pierce. Luke Ferry. Freya Hui. Jonathan Carter. Natasha Silveirinha. Kelly Neller. Ellen Huxley. Amelia Nesbitt. Holly Burling. Daniela Sinon Ramilo. Thushana Balachandran. Rebecca Smith. Holly Hicks. Marcus Revel. Benjamin Hook. Joshua Betch. Matthew Hayes. Christopher Smith. Scott Worrell. Rosanna Wright. Anna Dingley. Scarlett Pearson Smith. Jessica Tyndall. Sophie Horton. Nicole Cronje. Eleanor Sturgis. Charlotte Stringer. Tia Beckford. Lucy Shimon. Freya Darton. Alicia Haddock. Revan Sankar. Peter Sinkins. Jack Cornwall. The recipient of the Kathy Blees Prize, Tyler Merkovich. Edward Thomas. Morgan Leaf. Simon Hargreaves. Josh Benfield. Joe Owen. Carl Trigas. James Billingham. Jan Moreno. Katharina Ley. Ella Yarnall. Molly Hart. Rebecca Rapps. Sophie Taylor. Jonathan Smith. Joshua Hicklin May. Connor Godley. Lee Monk. Matthew Groves. Taiwajuti Harrington. Max Ryder. Wafiki Akitoye. Vienna McDonald. Aidan Goff. Matt Greaves. Brian Etcheverry. James Blatchford. Jonathan Lacey. Lee O'Connor. Tina Pett. Yasmin Limbert. Sami Dorluk. Eva Colfer. Helen Richardson. James Beadle. Robert Broadway. Finley Belnavis. Holly J. Lee. Holly Southgate. That concludes the presentation of the Bachelor of Arts. Governor. Governor, as Executive Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, I present to you the candidates who have been awarded the Bachelor of Science in Computing for Business and Digital Marketing. Deve Moisefe. Oliver Blackinsop. Oliver Cooper. Nikki Reynolds. Alex Millman. Bradley Barker. That concludes the presentation of the Bachelor of Science. Governor, as Executive Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, I present to you the candidates who have been awarded the Bachelor of Laws in Law, Law with Criminology, Law with International Relations. James Martin. Lance Sigmunds. Elizabeth Foster. Reuben Moore. Fitzroy Ramsey. Veronica Machuzenoka. Joshua Davis. Alexandra Murno. Imogen Biddle. Saffron Foley. Libby Ann Davison Barnes. Paige Chatbolt. Millie Berg. Andrew Parry. Naila Mahmood. Anisha Mia. Stefana Krasium. Shri Singh. Binal Shudasama. Bradley Harvey. Emily French. Poppy Thompson. Brennan Coe. Rosie Shepherd. The recipient of the Erwin Mitchell Dissertation of the Year Award, Kira Lee Crisford. Lauren Jill. Owen Dearlove. Robin Jane Benz. Leela Harwood. Freya Thorpe. Summer Brown. Emma Armson. Alexandra Mazantseva. Katie Bell. That concludes the presentation of the Bachelor of Laws. Governor, as Executive Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, I present to you the candidates who have been awarded the Master of Laws. Law Conversion. Laura Keeley. That concludes the presentation of the awards.
The Board of Governors have resolved to confer an Honorary Master of Law upon Manjinder Nagra. Can I please ask for Manjinder to come forward to join Governor Yvonne Chester for the conferral of this award? I first met Manjinder a few years ago when she was President of the Sussex Law Society. She was attending a Law Society dinner, to which the University of Chichester Law Department had also been invited. In talking to her, it soon became apparent what an inspirational individual she is in both her role as a lawyer and a sportsperson. In making this award, we recognise and celebrate her accomplishments to date, some of which I will outline below. Manjinder attended the University of Bath, where she achieved a BSc in Economics and Politics. There, she made history as the first Sikh and Asian woman to play rugby for England, proudly wearing the red rose while representing England students at the University of Bath. Manjinder has since continued this passion for rugby, which also helped her secure her first legal appointment. She has played for club, county and country. She is deeply committed to the game and recognises the power of sport to transform lives. As such, in 2015, Manjinder founded Hove Girls Rugby. The programme has since grown to encompass 4 thriving teams, offering a nurturing and empowering environment for young girls to develop confidence, leadership and resilience through rugby. Her influence extends into the governance of sport. Manjinder serves on the England and Sussex Rugby Football Union disciplinary panels and was appointed to the England and Wales Cricket Board's Cricket Discipline Panel, where her integrity and fairness ensure that disciplinary processes remain balanced and transparent. She is also a non-executive director with the Lioness Coaching Academy. In addition to this, she sits on the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Advisory Board for the Student Rugby Football Union, helping to shape national strategies to embed equality, diversity and inclusion across university-level rugby. This role represents her tireless dedication to advocating for systematic change, whereby she continues to challenge barriers and inspire greater representation and opportunity. Manjinder is also the founder of the British Asian Women in Rugby, which celebrates the achievements of Asian women and girls in the sport, whilst championing for greater representation at all levels of the game. Furthermore, she was recently asked to serve as the global ambassador for the first Sikh Games, promoting international participation and cultural pride through sport. If all of this was not exceptional enough, and I'm not quite sure when you sleep, Manjinder, alongside her sporting achievements, Manjinder has over 25 years' experience as a lawyer, with particular expertise in the areas of contract law and procurement. She is a highly respected solicitor and a champion for diversity and inclusion in the legal profession. In 2024, she was named Commercial and Corporate Lawyer of the Year by the Society of Asian Lawyers. This reflected her legal excellence and leadership. In 2023, she also made history as the first person of colour to serve as president of the Sussex Law Society since it was founded in 1866. This trailblazing achievement enabled her to further her commitment to opening doors for others and driving meaningful change within the legal profession. Despite Manjinder's demanding schedule, she made time to deliver the keynote speech at the University of Chichester's first Legal Careers Conference in 2024. This truly inspirational speech embodied the values of resilience, commitment, courage, and humour. Following this, Manjinder also took the time to speak individually to some of our University of Chichester law students, some of who are graduating today, inspiring them and giving them confidence to achieve their ambitions. Governor, in awarding this academic honour, we celebrate the achievements of Manjinder Nagra and show our respect and gratitude for the tireless work she does to advocate for equality, diversity and inclusion within sport and the legal profession. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Vice-Chancellor Amy Elkington and Ellie Morehouse for this incredible honour today. This Honorary Master of Law conferred upon me has all actually come about with a simple act, and that was sitting next to someone at the Chichester Law Society dinner who looked like they might have been alone and possibly may have needed a little bit of company. And that person was Ellie Morehouse. It turns out she wasn't alone, but we chatted and I thought nothing of it. But that conversation led to an invitation for me to speak at the university's first inaugural law conference in March 2024, and now to this moment. At that conference, I shared my story for the first time, and I was nervous because I had not publicly spoken before. And I'll share a little snippet of that with you today, if I may. So I'm the youngest of 5, born to immigrant parents in the 70s in Slough. My interest in law was sparked by an American TV drama, some of you may remember, called LA Law. It was glitzy and it was glam and it was full of courtroom drama. But my reality was far from that. My mum was signed off sick when I was at primary school, and my dad died when I was 13, the same age as my daughter is today. Overnight, we were thrown into financial instability and insecurity. When I was walking to nursery, one of my earliest memories was holding my mother's hand and her being called the P word. I promised myself not to do this. Apologies. I also remember being... Thank you. I also remember feeling the weight of cultural expectations. To me, it felt like girls were treated differently to boys, and I found that quite limiting. And I think I realised then that I wanted to be personally and financially independent. And so I wanted a career where I could do that be independent and advocate for others. So at university, I stumbled into rugby. I met the women's rugby team on a night out. It was a chance encounter, and they were so welcoming, and for every reason I gave not to play rugby, they offered me a solution. And in the end, I actually thought, well, why not? And I went out for a training session on a Wednesday, and I had my first match on a Sunday. And that sport became my sanctuary. It was my freedom to be whoever I wanted to be on that pitch. As you've heard, I went on to play for England when I was selected to play for England students. And unknowingly, I did become the first Sikh Asian woman to do so. But rugby wasn't without its challenges. I was racially abused on the pitch. I was even called the N-word, a slur that didn't even reflect my cultural identity, but it still cut deep. And of course, my dream was to play for the full England senior team after my studies, but at that time, rugby wasn't part of the family plan. They wanted me to get married, settle down, have kids, learn to cook. And my life was very much like a rugby version of Bend It Like Beckham. So I tried to be the daughter and the sister that they wanted me to be, and I gave up my dream to play for England, and I hung up my boots. I then concentrated on applying for jobs, a training contract at the time, to qualify as a solicitor. And after a couple of years, I began to wonder why I was getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And at university, it happened that I'd written a paper on the socio and economic barriers to entry into the legal profession, not to put off those law students, by the way, at the back. But the reality was that there were disparities in the legal profession faced by people that looked like me. So I began to wonder, was it my background? Was it my gender? Was it my name? At one point, I even thought about anglicising my name. And that still sits with me. But eventually, well, really, when I was about to give up on my dream to become a lawyer as well, this two-partner firm in Hove invited me for interview. And the first question they asked me was, what was it like to play rugby with a red rose on your jersey? They looked past my name and they gave me the chance. We talked about rugby for 45 minutes and I got the job. And that led on to me qualifying as a solicitor in, I think it was 2000, 2001. So rugby gave me more than sport. It gave me confidence, it gave me resilience, and it gave me community. It gave me transferable skills into the working world. And as you've heard, I'm still involved in rugby 3 decades on. And in fact, one of the most recent things, I'm proud of many things I've done, but I've just set up walking rugby at my club for a mixed team and a group of multicultural women. And it is absolutely joyous to see these women on a Saturday turn out with their hijabs, with their salwar kameez, whatever they want to wear, and they are playing rugby. So currently I still practice. I work at the Brighton Hove City Council. As you've heard, in 2023, I'm currently the immediate past president, and I was then elected the president of the Sussex Law Society, and I did become the first person of colour when I was elected. And in fact, I turned that role down twice because I didn't want to put my head above the parapet. But in the end, I thought, in the 20 years that I'd been practicing law, I'd never seen a person that looked like me in that role. I thought, well, if I don't step up, who will? After my talk at the university here, Ellie told me 2 students were thinking about dropping out because of some racism they had encountered. And they didn't after they heard me speak about my journey. And that reminded me why representation matters, and even more so now. Showing up matters. So I want to say to you graduates, firstly, many congratulations. Please do enjoy this day. My graduation ceremony was some 30 years ago, and I do wish I'd relished those memories a bit more. But I will leave you with these 4 thoughts. Say yes to the unexpected. Some of the most life-changing opportunities for me were in moments that I didn't plan for, like stumbling into rugby. Rugby opened the door for me to law. A chance conversation at a law dinner. That actually has led on now. I was nervous about public speaking. I'm still mastering my craft, but it has led on now for me to be, I get engaged for public speaking opportunities. And that's something that wouldn't have happened if a door hadn't been opened for me by the university. So I would say stay open, curious, and willing to explore paths outside your comfort zone. Barriers will exist, break them anyway. Systemic, cultural, and barriers are real and will be real for some of you. But with research, resilience, and community support, they can be challenged and overcome. Community is your superpower, whether it's a sports team, whether it's a network, whether it's a professional circle. Community is what lifts us when we fall, celebrates us when we rise, and sees us when others don't. Build and nurture your communities. Find your people. They will lift you higher. And then finally, be the door for someone else. Don't just walk through it. Hold it open for others to come and follow you. I'd like to thank you again for this great honour and privilege. And I want to say one last thank you, and I've left it until the end, until I get emotional again. But I do want to thank my husband, who does lift me, and without whose support, while he manages everything around me, our children, I could not do the things, many of the things that I do now. So thank you, Ivan. So, thank you. That's it, actually. I just want to wish those graduates, I think that's enough. I just want to wish you all the very best. Please, this is an amazing part of your life now. It is the start of something fantastic. And, you know, like I say, just do remember those that have helped you along the way, and don't forget those that, you know, don't forget those as you make your way up. Lift those people with you. Thank you.
Manjita, that was very motivational, very emotional, but very real. And I just want to say that we are very honored that you accepted this award. You embody our values of equity and inclusion in its core. And I just want to say to everyone back there, representation matters. You should break the barriers. Go against the current. Support those that they need it. And that is then how you represent this university and this award into the community. So Manjita, thank you so much. That was brilliant. A few formal and a few informal things from me as closing remarks. The formal one is, through the authority given to the university by the Privy Council and the power vested in me as a Vice-Chancellor by the Academic Board of the university, I declare that those persons who are listed in the graduation programme, who present themselves here at this ceremony, and who accept their awards in absentia, are deserving of the awards that have been made to them, having achieved them by due and approved process. Congratulations. Now the little less formal bit. Graduates. Many people have played a part in your success. They have supported you along the way. In a moment, on a count of 3, I would like you to put your hands together and show your appreciations for the friends, family, and staff members who have been part of your journey. Can I please ask that you are as unrestrained and as enthusiastic as you wish? 1, 2, 3. That was brilliant. Thank you very much. I now declare that the ceremony is closed. Please remain standing, if you are able to, for the academic procession and whilst the graduates leave the cathedral as the graduates process out. Please make sure you applaud them as loudly as you want. Thank you very much.